Yeah. So the cranial nerves of Calotes. So there are 12 pairs of cranial nerves in Calotes. The first 10 pairs are similar to fishes and amphibians, same number. Okay. So olfactory, optic, all those. Okay. Last one is vagus nerve. But two extra pairs are present in the reptilian cranial nerves. They are spinal accessory, which is 11th pair, and the hypoglossal. So this is 12th pair. Okay. So here the spinal accessory, it innervates the larynx muscles, and here neck and tongue. Sorry, larynx muscle and neck is supplied by the or innervated by the spinal accessory, and hypoglossal is innervated to tongue. Okay. So spinal nerves spinal nerves are 16 pairs, and their arrangement, their structure is as it is frog like. Okay. So that is about the so nervous system. And then so urinogenital system. Okay, so here we should remember one thing is just like a male amphibian and fish reproductive system, amphibian reproductive system. Here, the excretory system and reproductive system, particularly in the male, they are very, very closely associated. In the female also, ultimately, the oviducts are opened into cloaca. So we should call it as urinogenital duct or urinogenital system. So here, first of all, let's see about the excretory system. So it includes the major organs are kidneys, which are metanephric kind of kidneys. So these are the uh, you know well-developed kidneys in which the nephrons are highly convoluted when compared with the mesonephric and pronephros. Pronephros are very, very simpler. The uriniferous tubules are very, very simpler. Okay. So whereas in mesonephric, they are slightly convoluted, just like in amphibia. But right from the reptilia, the kidney, the kidneys are metanephric, in which the uriniferous tubule, it is highly convoluted, and it is specially demarcated with each part, okay, that performs a particular function, just like as in mammal. Okay, such kidney is generally known as metanephric, అంత్యవృక్క రకానికి చెందింది. Okay, so then here if you observe, so the kidneys are elongated, just like fishes. Ikkada kuda they are elongated kidneys are present. Okay, they lie in posterior region of the body of abdominal cavity. They are attached to dorsal body wall. Okay, their posterior here anteriorly they are separate. Okay, so but posteriorly their broad ends are united, and they look like both the kidneys look like a single structure in a V-shaped structure. Okay, internally they are almost similar to that of frog, but the uriniferous tubules are so they are specialized just like in uh, birds and mammalia. Okay. So from each kidney, a ureter arises. So second part in the kidney is ureter. So here, if you observe, so this is ureter here, right? So from each kidney, a ureter is arised, and the giant in male it joins with the vas deferens, the ureter. In females, they are independently they open into the cloaca. But here the ureter joins with the vas deferens to form a urinogenital duct. So that the urinogenital duct open into the cloaca, right? Yeah, in females, the ureter joins the urodium of cloaca. So we all know that cloaca has three chambers. So coprodium, urodium, procrodium. Here, in female, the urinary ureter joins the cloaca in coprodium chamber, right? So, sorry, urodium chamber, second chamber. So in males, ureter joins with vas deferens to form a urinogenital duct. A thin-walled urinary bladder here. Okay. So urinary bladder also joins cloaca at urodium. Okay. So అది కూడా urodium లోనే జాయిన్ అవుతుంది. So calotes is a uricotelic animal. So we should remember one basic thing is both reptiles and aves are uricotelic animals. Okay, that is a basic thing we should remember, right? So, and these are and ఈ యూరికోటెలిక్ యానిమల్స్, యూరోటెలిక్ యానిమల్స్, అమోనోటెలిక్ యానిమల్స్ ఏవి అనేది ఐడియా ఉండడం అనేది మినిమం బేసిక్స్. మోస్ట్లీ సచ్ క్వశ్చన్స్ హెల్ప్ అస్ అలాట్ in answering the questions in the entrance examinations. Without basic, we cannot answer the questions. మనకు అక్కడ ఇదే క్వశ్చన్ అడగకపోవచ్చు, బట్ దీని బేస్డ్ క్వశ్చన్స్ వస్తాయి. ఓకే. సో మనకు అయ్యో ఇది లేదు కదా అన్నట్టు కాదు. సో ఇది అర్థమైతేనే ఇంకో దానికి ఆన్సర్ చేయగలుగుతాం, రైట్? సో ఎనీవే, సో హియర్ దిస్ ఇస్ the periodic shedding of scales is a feature of calotes called ecdysis. తెలుగులో నిర్మోచనం అంటాం. కుబుస విసర్జన లేదా ecdysis. Okay, so it is common in snakes. So in calotes like lizards, so they shed the scales, epidermal scales, uh, often, quite often. So that is called ecdysis. During that process, some amount of nitrogenous waste are also, metabolic nitrogenous waste are also removed. So that is also a kind of excretory process in the calotes. So this is the urogenital system, and this is male, and this is the female reproductive system and excretory system. Anyway, so male reproductive system. Here, let's see only one system. Just wait. Right, this is the male reproductive system here. Right, a pair of oval white testes. Here you see, these are the testes. Are situated quite ahead of kidneys. Okay, kidneys కన్నా ముందే ఒక జత. So one pair of testes are present. They are attached to body wall by a peritoneal fold. So as usual, that is mesorchium. ఇది కూడా ఒక basic point. ఇది మనకు చూసుకోవాలి కంపల్సరీ, right? So then, if you observe here, the right testis, okay, the right testis is somewhat larger, okay, and anterior in position. That is only so different here. On the inner side of each testis, okay, is attached a long, much coiled tube, the epididymis. Okay, here. So here, so immediately from the testis, okay, so this is the epididymis. Okay, so a coil like, so on the inner side of each testis is attached a long and much coiled tube, the epididymis. ఓకే, సో ఇక్కడ కాయిల్డ్ స్ట్రక్చర్, ఒక ట్యూబ్ లాంటి స్ట్రక్చర్ ఉంటుంది. సో దట్ ఈస్ ఎపిడిడైమిస్. ఓకే, సో విచ్ రిసీవ్స్ వాసా ఎఫరెన్షియా ఫ్రమ్ ది టెస్టిస్. యాక్చువల్లీ హౌ ది ఎపిడిడైమిస్ ఇస్ ఫార్మ్డ్ బై ది యూనియన్ ఆఫ్ వాసా ఎఫరెన్షియా. అంటే సో ఇన్ ద టెస్టిస్ seminiferous tubules are present. All those seminiferous tubules, okay, so they produce vasa efferentia, smaller ducts. Okay, all those ducts, they enter into this coil like epididymis. Okay, vasa efferentia kaluste epididymis అనేది ఫామ్ అవుతుంది. So and then this epididymis, so it is continued behind as a circular or convoluted structure or tube that is called vas deferens. Okay, so male genital duct or vas deferens అని పిలుస్తాం దాన్ని. Okay, so it moves forward. In male, it also joins with ureter to form a urinogenital duct, and that opens into the cloaca. So that is about the male reproductive system. Okay, so it joins with the ureter and ultimately opens into cloaca. At the base of, this is important, at the base of tail behind cloaca are present a pair of eversible and erectile copulatory sacs. Basically, they look like sacs, but during copulation, they protrude through cloacal aperture as brood hemipenis. The plural NIS singular, NES plural, hemipenis, that transfers sperm into female's cloaca. So this is very peculiar feature that is seen only in reptiles. Okay, so here these are hemipenis. This is singular. So hemipenis. So this one and this one. A pair of in normal they look like sacs. Okay, during copulation they become erectile and they transfer sperm into the cloaca of the the female. Okay, so here having hemipenises or pair is an important feature of reptiles. Okay, so that is male reproductive system. And then the female reproductive system. Here, it includes two whitish. Okay. So these are the, so these are the a pair of ovaries. It includes two whitish and irregular lobulated ovaries. Okay, so these are the ovaries. Okay, so they are attached to dorsal body wall by mesovarium is a singular, mesovaria is the plural. So this is also a basic point we should not forget. Okay, so anyway, here the ovaries and oviducts are separate here. So just like other vertebrates. So here two oviducts are long, thin walled tubes. Okay, so just like fishes and amphibians, anteriorly each oviduct opens into body cavity by a broad ciliated funnel-like structure, that is oviducal funnel. Say, but in fishes that is called ostia అనే ఓపెనింగ్ ఉంటుంది. బట్ హియర్ ఇది రియల్గా ఫనల్ లానే ఉంటుంది. సో ఆస్టియం హియర్ ఆల్సో ద ఓపెనింగ్ ఈస్ ఆస్టియం. ఎనీవే, so this is oviduct. These are the so irregularly lobulated whitish ovaries. They are attached to dorsal body wall by mesovarium, and this is oviduct. So anterior part is funnel-like structure that is called oviducal funnel, and its opening is called ostium. It is opened into the body cavity. It is ciliated, right? So posteriorly, oviduct opens into cloaca in front of opening of ureter. Okay, so posterior ga ఇది యాజ్ యూజువల్గా సో క్లోయకాలోకి ఓపెన్ అవుతుంది జస్ట్ ఇన్ ఫ్రంట్ ఆఫ్ ది యూరేటర్ ఓపెనింగ్. ఓకే, యూరేటర్ ఓపెన్ అవ్వడానికి ముందు ఇది ఓపెన్ అవుతుంది. సో దట్ ఈస్ ఓవిడక్ట్. Right. The walls of oviducts are glandular and secrete albumin and shell of the eggs. You should remember that not only birds but also reptiles, they lay clydoid eggs, number one. Okay. So, and the inner material is surrounded by an albumin, just like avian eggs, almost similar, but size varies. Okay, so most of the eggs of the reptiles, they are smaller, but according to the animal, the size of the eggs is present. Anyways, the eggs of both reptiles and aves are morphologically similar. They are clydoid eggs. They are internally surrounded by a white protein called albumin. That albumin is secreted by this, the oviduct glands. Okay, so here both in reptiles and aves, this is common. Their eggs are megalisthal, they are telolithal and clydoic. Clydoic means so covered by shell, calcium carbonate made air or porous eggs. Okay, so that is about the reptilia. So with this we have completed the reptilia. Okay, so we have much time, so that's why I'm going to start the aves. Sorry. So anyway, so aves are feathered bipedal and endothermic vertebrates. So they are one of the most successful vertebrates. We can advanced and successful vertebrates, and they are first endotherms. In all vertebrates, they are the first endotherms. So that means their body temperature is always constant, uh, uh, irrespective of the surrounding temperatures. అంటే సరౌండింగ్ ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్ టెంపరేచర్తో సంబంధం లేకుండా వాటి యొక్క ఇంటర్నల్ temperature is always constant. Okay, so here are some of the important points, so which are responsible for their successful avian mode of life. ఏంటి అంటే బర్డ్స్ ఎందుకు సక్సెస్ఫుల్ ఏవియన్ యానిమల్స్ అని అంటే, సో దే డూ కంటైన్ ఫెదర్స్, they also contain wings, and they contain here strong thoracic muscles or flight muscles. And this is one of the important, they do contain the pneumatic bones. Okay, air-filled bones are called pneumatic bones, and their metabolic rate is very, very higher than the other vertebrates. And they are, homeothermic animals or endothermic animals. Okay, and their vision is very, very, very well developed. Okay, so these are the features that makes the avian animals successful vertebrates and successful avian mode of life adaptations for the birds. These are the okay. So that's why J.J. Young, he described the birds as masters of air. Okay, so and then another scientist described the birds as glorified reptiles. What does it mean, glorified reptiles? So glorified reptiles means advanced reptiles, because the birds are the birds are you know they are they were originated from the reptiles, so in which some advanced avian features are present in which are absent in the reptiles. That's why Huxley described them as glorified reptiles. Okay. So anyway, as they possess, as they possess epidermal scales on limbs, just like the reptiles, they do contain interclavicle, but not T-shaped, and they are uripotelic animals. They are megalisthal egg-laying animals. Okay, they also contain four extraembryonic membranes, just like the reptiles. So that's why he termed them as glorified reptiles. Anyway, so this is important. They were originated in the Jurassic era from theropod reptiles. Theropod reptiles నుంచి ఇవి origin అయ్యాయి. Okay, so this is important. Cretaceous period is the golden era of the reptile, because in this era their number flourished. And we all know that ornithology is the study of birds. So Dr. Salim Ali is generally considered as birdman of India. Okay, so he contributed, he studied a lot about the birds of India and Pakistan, and he gave much information regarding the indigenous birds. Second. Okay, so Dr. Salim Ali is generally regarded as birdman of India. So now let's see the general characters. Just like fishes in the water, the body shape, structure, okay, so arrangement of the body parts are streamlined. That means they are arranged in such a way that the birds can easily fly and overcome the friction created by the air. So that is streamlined body. Okay, the body is divisible into head, neck, trunk, and scale is small when compared with the reptiles. So four limbs are modified into wings. Okay, we all know that. And if you observe the skin, it is dry and it is aglandular. Okay, so that's why it is dry. But there is, this is a basic point you should remember. కొన్ని ఇలాంటి చాలా వస్తాయి వర్డ్స్లో. You should remember all those technical terms. Okay, so sorry. So here the feathers, scales, claws, horny beak, all these are epidermal in nature. Okay, so the scales are present on the feet of the legs, and claws are present to the fingers, and a horny beak is present. So which is very, very important for the feeding for the birds. So it is generally, scientifically, it is called as Ramphotheca. Okay, so the horny beak is called Ramphotheca. So this is one first one, this is second one. Terms and చూడండి. I'll give the number here. One. Okay. So one, two, and yeah. So pneumatic bones are present. We all know that. So the pneumatic bones are air-filled bones are present in the uh, endoskeleton, and the skull is here also monocondylic type of skull. Okay. So here this is important. Another technical term. See, last thoracic vertebrae. Remember. So here, for example, if it is, vertebral column, okay, it is divided into, for example, this is cervical, thoracic, okay, and lumbar, sacral, and remaining part is caudal. So these are the divisions of the what we call the backbone. Okay, here you observe last thoracic. That means, for example, right from the here, ఇక్కడ నుంచి, okay, all lumbar vertebrae, okay, and all sacral vertebrae, okay. So some anterior vertebrae, anterior caudal vertebrae. So these are all fused to form a structure, so called synsacrum. Okay, so ఇది కూడా ఒక టెక్నికల్ టర్మ్, ఇది గుర్తుంచుకోవాలి మనం. Synsacrum. So that supports the pelvic girdle, ultimately legs ki support చేస్తుంది in the synsacrum. So then, so yeah, so last few caudal vertebrae, they are fused to form another technical term here, pagostyle. Okay, a plow-like, hole that is present. Okay, so sorry, it is not so plow-like. Anyway, so last few caudal vertebrae, they are fused to form a pagostyle. So that supports the caudal feathers is another term. And the sternum bears keel or carina. So మామూలుగా, సో దిస్ ఇస్ యాక్చువల్లీ ఈ ఏరియాలో ఉంటుంది. సో ఇది సాక్రమించారు, ఈ యాంగిల్లో కనబడట్లేదు. బట్ ఏంటి అంటే స్టెర్నమ్కి ఒక బోట్ షేప్డ్ యూనో ఒక బోన్ అనేది ఉంటుంది. ఒక నిమిషం, స్టెర్నమ్, యా. సో దిస్ ఈస్ యాక్చువల్లీ దీని వెనకాల స్టెర్నమ్ ఉంటుంది. సో దిస్ ఈస్ వాట్ వి కాల్ ది కీల్ ఆర్ క్యారినా. సో దీనికి సో ఫ్లైట్ మజిల్స్ అనేటువంటివి అటాచ్ అయ్యాయి. సో హ్యావింగ్ keel and carina is another plus point for the avian mode of life. Okay, so it gives space for attachment of flight muscles. Flight muscles అన్ని దానికి అతుక్కుంటాయి. మీరు చెప్పలేదా? సో చెస్ట్ బోన్ ఇది మన సరే చెస్ట్ మజిల్ అంటారు ఇందులో చికెన్. సో the chest muscle is attached to keel or carina, and this is well developed in carinate birds or flight birds or flying birds. ఎగిరే పక్షుల లోపల ఇది బాగా డెవలప్ అయి ఉంటుంది. So the keel or carina is absent in ratite. Ratite means so flightless birds. Flightless birds లో keel ఉండదు, లేదా కారినా ఆర్ కీల్ ఈజ్ absent in ratite. సో ఇది ఒక టెక్నికల్ టర్మ్. అండ్ దెన్ clavicles and interclavicle join to form, ఇక్కడ ఇచ్చాడు form a V-shaped furcula or wishbone or merry thought. సో ఇందాకటి ఇమేజ్ లో ఉంది. సో yes, so this one, so this is a V-shaped furcula or wishbone or merry thought. Okay, clavicle and interclavicle are united to form a V-shaped furcula or wishbone. It is also known as merry thought bone. So ఇది ఒక టెక్నికల్ టర్మ్. And ribs are biheaded as usual. That means, so just like reptiles, so tuberculum and capitulum, two heads are present at the end of each rib. Okay, so like this I told you. So two heads, tuberculum, capitulum. So this one and this one. But biheaded ribs are present. Okay, and then flight muscles. Okay, you remember by heart it. Pectoralis major, pectoralis minor, and coracobrachialis muscles. These are the three muscles that help for the flight or flying. Okay, so extant birds, that means living birds, lack teeth. What does it mean? So extinct birds used to have the teeth. ఓకే, సో అంటే ఎక్స్టింక్ట్ బర్డ్స్ ఏవైతే ఉన్నాయో వాటిలో టీత్ ఉండేవి, బట్ ఇప్పుడు లివింగ్ బర్డ్స్లో మాత్రం టీత్ అనేవి ఉండవు. ఓకే, సో ఇసఫాగస్ కంటైన్ a sac-like crop which stores the food and feed the the young ones. So here both male and female they exhibit this. If it is an esophagus of a bird, so at some point in the middle of the esophagus it bulges, okay, like this. So that is called crab, and then it joins into stomach. Okay, so like this. So stomach is again divided into two parts: proventriculus and gizzard. Okay, so anyway, so stomach is divided into two parts. This is proventriculus, this is gizzard. Gizzard is highly muscular structure because as teeth are not present. Okay, so the stomach to some extent it compensates that problem of lack of teeth, so in which the food is almost grinded in the gizzard. Okay, so and then yeah, just like reptiles, here also cloaca contains three chambers. Okay, coprodium, urodium, proctodium. So lungs are spongy. Okay, there are no alveoli in that diagram here. Yeah, so alveoli, air sacs. To be precise, 9 air sacs are present. So that help for double respiration. What is double respiration? I will explain in the anatomy. They help for the respiration, double respiration, and these air sacs, okay, they enter even into the bones, so to make them pneumatic and to make them light. And there is another technical term that is sirens. Okay, Shantini and Telugu. So, which is a sound producer in the birds, a special larynx అనమాట. So దాన్ని సైరింగ్స్ అంటాం. So it enhances the sound normal than the more. So that is sirens is a sound producing structure where the pharynx and trachea meets. So there is this structure called syrinx, a sound box. You can also call it as sound box. Syrinx అనేటువంటి sound box అనేది ఉంటుంది. So this is syrinx here. Okay. So here, so sorry, trachea and bronchia junction లో syrinx అనేది ఉంటుంది. And these are the, the what we call the um, air sacs. Okay, so total 9 air sacs are present. Okay, so one pair, two pair, three pair, four pair, and this is ninth one. Okay, so anyway, that is about the respiratory system, and these red colors structures are lungs, which are less developed actually. Anyway, so heart. If you observe the heart for the first time in the vertebrates, the heart is four-chambered completely. So two auricles and two ventricles are present. That is four-chambered heart is present, and there is no sinus venosus, no truncus arteriosus. Okay, away mundam sinus venosus, truncus arteriosus, and right. So, and here only right systemic artery is present in the arterial system. Should remember. Birds లో రైట్ సిస్టమిక్ ఆర్టరీ ఉంటుంది. మమ్మేలియాలో లెఫ్ట్ సిస్టమిక్ ఆర్టరీ మాత్రమే ఉంటుంది. Okay, so you remember that point. That is also a basic thing. And then renal portal system is present but not well developed. Okay, so it is diminished. So renal portal system is diminished. As usually, the hepatic portal system is common. RBCs are nucleated just like all previous vertebrates. And the kidney is like this. 1, 2, 3. 3 lobed kidneys and metanephric kidneys are there. Okay, so urinary bladder is absent, but it is present in the ostrich. Ostrich లో తప్ప మిగతా అన్నిట్లో urinary bladder అనేది ఉండదు. Just now I told you that the birds are uricotelic, okay, for the conservation of water or water scarcity. So to escape water scarcity, so they are the uricotelic. They excrete uric acid as nitrogenous base. And if you observe the brain, so it looks like this. Cerebral hemispheres are, you know, very bigger than the previous, what we call the vertebrates. And if you observe olfactory lobes, they are almost negligible. So that's why the olfactory sense is very less in birds, except a bird called kiwi. So in remaining all the what we call the birds. Okay, so the olfactory sense is very less. Okay, and here 12 pairs of, as usual, 12 pairs of cranial nerves are present. And then, yeah, so eyes are well developed actually, and they do contain a special structure called, pectate. So some people believe that it helps for you know, the keen vision or very telescopic vision. Or some believe that pectin is useful for the cleaning of the eye. Pectin అనేటువంటి ఒక home like structure that is only present in the birds. That is present only in the birds. So some people believe that. So it is the reason why the highly developed vision for the birds. But later it was known that so the pectin it helps for the cleaning of the eyes. And the middle ear contains only one bone, that is columellaris. Okay, so just like amphibia, just like reptiles, here also columellaris only one bone is present in the middle ear. So olfactory sense is very very less except కివి కివీలో ఆల్ఫాక్టరీ లోబ్స్ డెవలప్ అయి ఉంటాయి బాగా, కాబట్టి ఆల్ఫాక్టరీ సెన్స్ అనేది అది బాగా ఉంటుంది కివీ బర్డ్కి. సో యూ రిమెంబర్ ఐ ఫర్గాట్ టు టెల్ యూ డ్యూరింగ్ ది స్నేక్స్, here right ovary, right oviduct are atrophied. That means so they are almost right side oviduct is almost diminished or absent and the less developed. Whereas in snakes, opposite గా ఉంటుంది. Left ovary, left oviduct, left kidney are less developed or atrophied. Okay, so what is the why the reason for the lack of right ovary and right oviduct? So it need not be right or left. Either of the one can be so atrophy. So because the bird is a, an avian animal, okay, flying animal, so which needs to reduce its body weight. సో ఆ రకంగా బాడీ వెయిట్ తగ్గించే దానిలో భాగంగానే న్యూమటిక్ బోన్స్ ఉంటాయి, ఫెదర్స్ ఉంటాయి. ఓకే, సో రైట్ ఓవరీ, రైట్ ఓవిడక్ట్స్ అనేటువంటివి బట్ సైజ్ ఆల్మోస్ట్ నిల్గా ఉంటుంది. సో దట్ ఈస్ ద రీజన్ ఫర్ దే atrophied. Okay, so then except ducks, geese, రాటిడే ఇది గుర్తుంచుకోండి. సో రాటిడే బర్డ్స్ లో పెనిస్ ఉండదు, దట్స్ క్లియర్. బట్ సో హంస లాంటి కొన్ని జీవులు, డక్స్ లాంటి జీవులు, యానిమల్స్ లో పెనిస్ అనేటువంటిది ఉంటుంది. సో ఎక్సెప్ట్ డక్స్, గీసెస్, రాటిడే, ఈ మూడిట్లలో పెనిస్ ఈజ్ ప్రెసెంట్. ఓకే, ఓకే, absent ఇన్ ఫ్లయింగ్ బర్డ్స్. దాన్ని కారినేటే అని కూడా పిలుస్తాం, కారినేటే బర్డ్స్ అని కూడా పిలుస్తాం, కారినా కంటైనింగ్ బర్డ్స్. Okay, so ducks, geese, raridae, these three kind of birds, they contain the you know uh, penis or copulatory organ, but whereas the flying birds, they do not contain the penis. Okay, the eggs are megalisthal, telolithal, and cleidoic eggs. That means the shell containing eggs. Okay, fertilization is internal fertilization. Okay, so the development is meroblastic discoidal type of development. Okay, so just like reptiles, here also the development is meroblastic. So ఇవి వస్తే అప్పుడు చెప్తాను. Yeah, so here the flight birds progeny. So ratite birds progeny. What is another difference? So The flight birds progeny are ultraicial. What do you mean by ultraicial? So they ultimately depend on that is ultraicial and so ratite birds progeny. ఎకరలేని పక్షుల యొక్క సంతానం అనేది దే ఆర్ కన్సిడర్డ్ యాజ్ ప్రికాషియస్ ఆర్ ప్రికాషియల్. సో వాట్ డస్ ఇట్ మీన్? ఇట్ మీన్స్ దట్ they they do not depend on their parents after their birth. Okay, so immediately after their birth, they can live freely. There is no need of the mother. So that is this process is seen in gratitude. Okay, so so these are the general characters of birds. Okay, so let's continue tomorrow.